There's one. Oh, I got him. Well, hey, I'm telling you today, we got overcast skies and a really hard incoming tide. What that does for us is, flooded grass is the key, and if you find it and you fish it correctly, let's see what we got. You can catch speckled trout one after the other in that flooded grass like that. And it doesn't matter if it's speckled trout, redfish, flounder, they all love it. Overcast skies, flooding into the grass, and these fish are waiting to eat it. Nice speckled trout. All right, as you can see down this bank, you see that flooded grass right there? I was out here behind me throwing to it. Now that my wind shifted, now I'm gonna throw down it and see what happens. Okay, there he is. Okay, now when you have flooded grass like this, what I mean by is not the grass that's growing from the bottom, it's the grass along the bank that gets flooded by the incoming tide. And these fish, they kind of bury themselves up in it, and when you throw kind of close to it, they just come out and get it. Look at this. Another really nice speckled trout. Really good. And here he goes. Man, let me go back in. There we go. Another one. Deadly combination, this rig up right here. It's so basic, but it works so well. It's just a Versamax cork, about, I don't know, about 1.5 foot deep. And what I'm doing is I'm just throwing it up along that grass, letting it go inside right close to that grass. Those fish are jumping out, bam, they're grabbing it right when I throw out. Give me another shrimp. I'm using live shrimp right out of my live well. Now the way I like to hook shrimp, there's two different ways. You can either hook them right in front of this black dot that's on the head. You would take the hook, go straight across and through the shrimp like this, or the way I really prefer to do it is come 2 joints in on the shrimp's tail, go straight up through the back, and allow the shrimp to lay like this. Because what happens is, if you stick them in the head, to me, it just seems that you're really wounding that bait. The other thing is that when you hook them in the tail like this, they can still try to swim away. And if you notice, a shrimp always swims this way. They only flee by popping backwards. So it allows them to look natural in the water. If you stick them in the head, they just kind of fall. So just a good presentation, good way, and a good technique to put shrimp on a hook. There he is. These speckled trout are stacked up right here. Oh man. Holy, come flying out of the water. That's awesome. Oh, it's a flounder. It's a flounder. Oh, man. And that just goes to show, you just don't know what species is going to actually be in these areas like this, because that flooded grass, it's such a great little ecosystem within itself. There's shells back in there. There's minnows, speckled trout, redfish, flounder, drum. They're all inside of there. Another one. Now, as you can see behind me, we've got 2 types of, it's the same type of grass, but they look different. You have a darker, almost brown grass that's behind us, and then we have a really bright green grass that's below. The green grass that's right at the water line, that is where these fish are actually holding. And it's new grass that's actually growing out from the old grass. And it's usually areas that kind of eroded away, and now silt is kind of filling in there, and that grass is getting there. And these fish are just holding in there. Man, it's just cast after cast. I mean, it's unbelievable how fast the action is. It's really good. And this is a great pattern. Let's throw him in. It's a great pattern to fish, because a lot of times when the tide comes up really quick and really hard, it's very hard to catch fish, because what happens is the fish move into these areas, and you're thinking that you should be fishing out on reefs or out on structure that's off of the bank, but in all actuality, you want to be somewhere really close to the bank where those fish can get inside, they can ambush, and when they hear that popping of that Versamax and it's going through, they hear that noise, they come out to look for it, they see the shrimp, the pogey, your plastic that you're using, they come out, bam, they eat it every time. It's an ambushing presentation that the fish are going for. So we have to offer that to them by giving them noise, then the sound of the shrimp on the hook, and then once that cork goes under, you set the hook and you'll catch a lot of fish. I'm gonna get me another one. Greatest thing about fishing like this too is you just never know what species that you're gonna actually catch. I mean, we've caught a lot of speckled trout here doing this technique. We've caught flounder, and now I got a redfish. And that just goes to show how when you're trying a different technique like this and understanding what variables cause you to do, you know, what type of fishing that you're gonna do, he's a nice fish. You gotta make sure that you understand it and put this one in your memory banks. When you got a high tide coming in hard and the grass is flooded, you wanna make sure that you fish this way. Oh, man, I'll tell you, hard fighting fish on that croaker hook and mustad. Just a beautiful fish. Oh, now, there we go. Oh, look at that redfish. He was right up against the grass. I threw right in there, just like I talked about. And I'll tell y'all use this concept when you go out and fish flooded grass like this on an incoming tide. It's awesome. It's just a great way to catch fish. Man, hope y'all use it next time you fish.